welcome to On the Couch, and our very special guest this time around, Cal, is one of your best mates.
He is one of my mates.
He is one of the very few. Brian Vaughns, who's the coach of Hume City. Thanks for stopping by On the Couch.
No, guys, thanks for having me.
Seriously, be honest with us. Did you expect to get within 4 points of Eltham?
Yes, I did.
Why?
I'll be honest with you, because we started our season. It's a brand new team. We've lost 6 players from last year. Coming into this year, me and Cal, we spoke at the start of the year, and I told him it was going to be a rebuilding process, and again, it's going to take time. But slowly, the girls are buying in, and you can see it slowly starting to happen. And I'll be honest with you, against Eltham, I expected to win, but I really did. I expected to win.
Did the words of Alison Dunkley-Smith on the show fire you up? Did you use that in the week leading up? Because there's no doubt you were called out after a 0-5 start. Was that talked about during the week?
Yes, actually. I actually got a call from a good friend Cal here, and we had a conversation. And with it, like I said to Cal, well, I think she's awake and a sleeping giant. But the thing of it is when I hear comments like that, and I don't quote anything against Allison, because sport is sport. But in respect to when I hear comments like that, I take it and I use it as mental fuel. I lock it away, but I use that fuel to force myself to coach better and prepare my team better. So I've locked that away, and I am using that. And with it, I'll continue to push my boundaries to make sure that my team is more prepared every time we step on the court.
Well, Brian, on that mental stuff, I know a lot of your preparation is, pretty well 90% mental. Is that going to be enough down the stretch to, contend for a championship?
I'll be honest with you. The way I see it right now, with the makeup that we have, we're that close, but we really are. And with a new team, it's just a matter of learning how to win or getting a taste of winning. Because once they know that they can actually win a game, that's when it all changes. And over the last couple of weeks, I can see the steps happening. We played our worst game of the season against Waverly, but then against Sherbrooke, and then Eltham. The shooting percentage is a little bit better. The turnovers were down. Our first four or five games, we 32 turnovers, 28 turnovers, 29 turnovers. You're not going to beat teams doing that. But our last 2 games, 14, 11. We forced Eltham into 20 turnovers. We're taking the steps now. Again, we've outshot our opponents the last 2 games. We've out-rebounded our opponents the last 2 games. We've been on the glass a lot more. Steals, we've been creating havoc on the court. Again, with Eltham, they had a 20-point lead, but with 30 seconds to go in the game, it was a 1-point game.
Yep.
And I'll be honest with you, we should have won the game.
I hope you take this the right way. You said you've turned over 6 players. Is this year's team, even though it's a 0-6 start, and of course you played in a grand final series last year, is this year's team more of a team compared to, say, having 2 or 3 superstar players?
It is. Because if you, and this is just my second year at Hume, and me coming in, getting the history of the girls program. I know they've had superstar players like Frog and those guys in the past, but me coming in, same thing with last year's team. There was no superstar players. It was the role players, the supporting players, getting them to buy in to the fact that they were more responsible than, say, the superstars at getting those titles. And it's the same thing this year. Even those girls that have come back this year, it's now a chance to say, okay, we know what it takes to get to a grand final. Someone like Lisa Troyan, who's played in 4 consecutive grand finals, that leadership helps with the younger group to, again, build that way to learn how to win just a little bit.
It's an interesting thing you bring up, because history is a big thing at Hume City. 07, you won the title. 08, you won the title. 09, you won the title. 2010, runners-up. We're talking about a club here that absolutely thrives on success. Heading into Easter, 0-6 start, and obviously that history is a big thing, and you're talking about it right now.
It's a case of expectation, really.
Oh yeah, the expectations are high. But again, as with every program, and I'll be honest with you, like I said, this is just my second year, and as I look at the transition of that program, well, you have to. I'm kind of in a unique position because I'm trans. I got to get one team to the future, but at the same time, I got to get one team competing now. We got older players, like Sam Rioli, Haley, well, Billy Adams.
Yeah.
Those guys. Well, they probably won't play next year. So right now, I'm still in the transition period. You lose 6 from last year, you get a few that come back this year, and you got a few more leaving. So
tell us a little bit about Rebecca Guglielmo.
Yes.
Well, Becky G, we call it. Guglielmo. We call her Becky G, by the way.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about her, because she's having a pretty good season.
Well, see, that's one of my things here is, again, getting that team to transition as to where players like Beck, like Viv, like those guys, they now become the nucleus of the future of the women's program. And it's about getting the pieces now adding into those guys so that you can have something that will establish for years to come.
He's on the right track, isn't he? Now, we've got to have a bit of fun here.
Yes, but
Do you call Cal and impose your wisdom upon him? Or as Cal tells me, does Cal ring you and impose his wisdom upon Brian Vaughns?
Well, Cal calls me.
you call me sometimes.
He calls me, but I impose my wisdom upon Cal.
And he needs plenty of it as well. Hey, thanks very much for joining us. You've been a great sport, because there's no doubt that Hume City are starting to get better, Cal, and we may see some big things from them over the rest of this season.
I'm looking forward to seeing them develop, and I no doubt that Brian will get them to do that.
Good on you, Brian. Thanks for joining us on the couch.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.